Hi, everybody. Welcome to the QB School. I am JT O'Sullivan. Today, Will Levis, tough L on the road, Thursday Night Football. We are breaking it down. Let's get it going. Welcome to the QB School. Before we dive into the video, a quick reminder about the Quarterback School Patreon community. This group is the foundation, the bedrock of this channel. Not only is it a great, cheap way to support the channel, but you get even more Quarterback School content. I'm really trying to create the environment of what it's like in an NFL quarterback room for the Quarterback School Patreon community. This is all about nuance, detailed depth about not only the quarterback position, but high-level offense and defensive structure, systems, philosophy, everything you can imagine. Hop over to the Quarterback School Patreon community. I appreciate your support. As for this video, let's get into it. Will Levis, keeping it going right here, slot, bottom of the screen. D-hop, back turned, linebacker, LOL, beautiful route, awesome throw. Just a great job right here, backed up. You don't see this concept very often. You can say a lot of things about Will Levis, and we'll get into all of them. But the dude can rip the ball down the field. And I really like this design, especially backed up here. You're going to come up here and run like what I'm going to call like this little choice and go. So it's supposed to look like an option type route where he's going to come up, can sit it down, can run out, can run in. But he really just kind of stutters this. So he's up, And then we've got inside leverage by a linebacker type who then is going to turn and run with our little stutter go seam here. And again, hear me say it all the time on this channel, back turned, covering width of shoulders only. Levis does a really nice job whipping it in there, put it right on him, strike. Pretty sweet. Really nice base, great torque. Obviously, the dude is strong. That's a hell of a route, man. That's a beautiful route. Big time call. Nice pass protection here on drop 8. Vroom. Look at that throw. I mean, again, 55's back his turn. Look when he throws it. Hell yes. Strike. Beautiful. Right up on his face. Big chunk. Let's go. Next one here. Nice job up top. What I'm going to call play action hinge. One-on-one outside the numbers. Again, really nice base. It looks like this might be the number 2 read on this thing. Like he gives this kind of deep out down here to the bottom, an opportunity to work and win. Says no. Comes back to the backside. So play fake. Right, no. Left, yes. 1 to 2, full field read. Really nice job. Again, 10, just continuing to separate. Have that juice back in his legs. So for whatever this is, we'll call it a deep out. 1, and then what I'm going to call hinge over here 2. So it sure looks like he gives this an opportunity to win down here. So he's looking over here. No. He then says yes all the way back the other way. And the thing to pay attention to that I like, if you're a fan of the channel, you probably know what I'm going to say. The footwork, the base, when he moves, when he's at the top of his drop, he's loaded. He's locked up, ready to go. There's no heel clickiness. There's not a lot of wasted movement here. Off the play fake, no, yes. Again, look at the footwork. See how he goes from there right to there. Boom, no heel click. Ball comes out quick. He's got that kind of like quick whippish release. I know he's got a big time cannon, strong arm, but it does, you can see him like firing that torque to be able to just snap this thing off. No, boom. Right up on him, fastball. Nice little chunk outside the numbers. Hell yes. Next one here, 3rd and 15. This is a hell of a play. We're going to hit the slot down here, what I'm going to call a little out and up, a little post wheel. Beautiful call, especially with what the coverage they're seeing. It's a hell of a throw from 8 as well here. Again, got color bearing down on him, almost like a half jump throw. And that's pretty sweet. You can say whatever you want. Again, I think that the strength and the way that he plays the position with explosiveness really comes through. Now, what I'm going to call this concept right here, post, and then this like set it up like he's running an out and then kind of up into the wheel. So it's not like a traditional post wheel. The other thing you should notice here is that 10, Hopkins is up here. He's getting essentially doubled. They're bringing the safety down as well here. We're playing what I would classify as some iteration of like 3 backer. Well, versus this type of coverage, the only way that you're ever going to be able to keep up with this wheel. So at the end of the day, if this corner has this 3rd down here, and we're going to run a post through there. He's going to take that corner with him. The only way that you would ever be able to cover this kind of out and up element of this is this flat defender has got to take the flat and the wheel. So he's got to take the carry on that wheel. Just a really hard ass. 3rd and 15. 3rd and 15 is hard as hell at any level, let alone the NFL. To get somebody this open and have this kind of quarterback play, pretty damn impressive. Look at the pocket movement. I mean, he's getting smacked. Y'all, this is pretty sweet. Over, jump throw, hit. I mean, look at that thing sort itself out down here with the post, the out and up. When's he let this thing go? I mean, there's a little bit of anticipation there as well. Look at that throw. Fuck, that's awesome, man. That's really good quarterbacking. The fact that this is the guy's second start, rookie year, over, up, jump, get popped. 3rd and 15. Hell yes. Next one here, 3rd and 3, another conversion. This time we're going to hit the rail out the backfield. 10. Now the throw is a little bit behind him, ends up making him fall down, but still, really nice job getting a first down here. Running essentially what a lot of people would call railroad nowadays. The part that I really like about it, I'll pause it right here, is they move 10 around. So now they've got Hopkins in the backfield. They do this little jump around, and now what for many of us a long time ago used to be called bullets, now is called a rail. You can throw this thing whenever you want. So you can put it right on him. You can put it down the field. Right here, he's essentially dropped. So to get your best player that open, or let's say your best wide receiver that open out the backfield, a really nice kind of trick 'em dick 'em. It's when it's paired with a rail, or railroad, there's usually someone over the ball, and then we're going to get this mesh. And it really doesn't matter who it is. That's probably not a great drawing. Actually, the mesh going towards the rail is usually underneath. So you read that rail or bullet to the mesh underneath. Nice man options. If you catch zone, you've got a bunch of settle ups. But again, just dropped up top, right? So nice vision from Levis. Everything except the ball location. And again, nice catch from 10. That's why you manufacture your wide receiver back there so they can make that kind of catch. First down. Next one here, another big chunk. This time we're going to hit the slot up top. Now, you might want to call this a seam. You know, the way he looks, it looks like it's a little bit of a seam. I think originally when I saw it on the broadcast or saw it on the highlight, I thought it was maybe he was throwing it to the in and the in just gets knocked down. But this is a hell of a little series that they get into right here. So again, is this a seam? We'll call it a seam. So there, you're going to catch middle field open, right? Split field safety. So we can want to attack the middle of the field. He's got outside release. He's got outside leverage here. Okay. I thought maybe he was trying to work it to this dagger right here and it just kind of sails on him and hits the clear, but I don't think so. I think it probably is supposed to go there. We'll talk about maybe getting himself in trouble later in the game, trying to do a similar type throw. But right here, it works out. Split field coverage. Middle field's open. Hit him. Big chunk. This is a cool kind of series of plays for them. Driving the ball down the field. Boom. Again, he sure doesn't have to get through the throw very much. Watch him, just such a rotational thrower. Vroom. Back hip just kind of fires. Boom. Right on him. That's a big chunk. Let's go. Keep this little 2-minute drive series going. Another chunk again to the slot. 18 doing work on what I'm going to call a sail or a little Seattle route. Post corner, essentially. Again, really nice throw. Big time hookup. Seems like those guys are playing a little bit of buddy ball. Again, moving to his left, throwing. You can see the acceleration. The ball jumps out of his hand, right? He's moving left, throwing right. Not all his cleats in the ground. Can't get everything he wants into that throw, but still just a subtle movement to be able to move to your left and throw that ball outside the numbers down the field. Y'all, that's a hell of a throw. That's awesome. That's some serious arm talent. I really like the route down here to the bottom. So what I'm going to call this sail or Seattle burst in, up, and then out. And then it's usually almost always paired with that big boy post. But again, to say that we're going to hit our back of our drop, move to the left, not really set our feet, and drive this thing way down the field outside the numbers to the opposite side, to the wide side, that is arm talent on display. Up, out, dot. Man, they were rolling right here before halftime. That's a really nice job too, really back-to-back, really nice throws, big chunk plays. But this movement and over, I mean, that's pretty awesome. That really is. And then the ball jumps out of his hands. Perfect strike. Hell yes. Halftime, you dig the channel and you haven't already, please like, subscribe, hit the bell, get the notifications. I sincerely appreciate you subscribing to the channel. It means a lot to me, so thank you for taking the time to do that. I appreciate you. Again, the Quarterback School Patreon community, you know about it. Join, become a member, get even more Quarterback School content. We also have Quarterback School courses. Now, these courses are the premium content available through the channel, the best of the best. These are detailed, deep dives on my favorite football topics. We have a course on RPOs, tempos, pass protection. The best-selling course is How to Beat Every Coverage. We even have an entire offensive system over there. So if you enjoy how I talk and teach ball, you will love the Quarterback School courses. Hop over there. The link is in the video description and enroll. We also have a bunch of free resources also linked in the video description. Finally, make sure to follow me across social media platforms. I appreciate your support. As for this video, let's get back to it. Next one here, 3rd and 8. To me, this is a turnover-worthy play down here to the slot bottom. We're going to just rip an out. The DB makes a nice job undercutting this thing, gets his hand on it. You know, this to me felt like just a predetermination, like, oh, I'm going to rip it to 10 no matter what. Now, that being said, there's not a whole lot of great options here. I actually think the coverage is a little janky. And what I mean by that is, you know, hard to make sense of if what I'm going to call them rotating down here. So this safety coming down. To me, middle field close, most often you can expect to get outside leverage here. But right here, it sure looks like he's inside leverage. So when you come up and run this out, it's almost like running it versus what normally would be that 2-man look, where these guys are trying to trail you inside and like almost invite you to undercut these things. So again, as we're running out of this thing, so if this is the out stem and that nickel type defender is inside, you think, oh, I should have the out. But verse 2-man, this isn't 2-man, but the technique here is for the slot, he's going to he wants to try to undercut these things. So it's just a dangerous ass throw. If anything, you know, the number 1 is not any good either. This isn't there. Probably the backside in will get there. You just have to buy enough time for that thing to have an opportunity. But I don't love it into rotation up there either. There's just not a lot of great throws here. You know, that backside in looks open because the safety up top is tracking the ball. He sees the ball thrown. You're not going to be able to just drop back and throw that in. If anything, it probably has to get to the uncovered check down. And again, easier said than done. To me, this just felt forced. And honestly, watching 8 play a little bit, sometimes it feels like he guesses. And there's a lot of people who guess in sports, like guessing fastball, guessing in the batter's box, but guessing at quarterback, it can lead to big plays when you hit, but when you don't, it can look sideways really quickly. Next one here, another kind of just sideways throw decision. I'm going to guess that this is not the play that was supposed to be run. And again, just me making an assumption. We know what that usually means. But this decision to just like turn and chuck this thing, I know it worked out last week for him to chuck a couple balls up, but this really feels like living on the edge. This feels like making a bad play a borderline disaster. Now, if he comes back and catches that play, you know, good for you if that's the kind of ball you like. I'm not familiar with this concept. So this concept, I'll draw it up and then talk about where I think is probably in the wrong. It looks like one of these tight ends comes up and runs like a hook. Looks like we get like an over there or a post. Then down here, we get to the bottom, we get a go, and he actually throws up his hand like a mailbox, like he's open here. All this paired with play action over here. So you would never play action over here and throw a go over here. You never would. Never, ever. But that's why, for me, if I had to guess, I would say we probably don't get the correct route run here, and this is supposed to be an in. That's just me. You know, maybe they think he can throw the ball 80 yards going the other way, and maybe he can't. And for all I know, I'm a dinosaur, and that's the new play in the league. But that's it doesn't make sense. And when I watch Levis play, there are these throws sometimes where you're like, for who, for what? And I know it worked out the first time. We had 4 touchdowns, and it was awesome when we hit them. But these types of things just don't look like Sunday football to me. And I get it, Thursday night, whatever, joke, ha ha ha. This just looks like a prayer. Again, it looks, first of all, 10 is jogging down here. Then the mailbox here, that right there is hilarious. And then the fact that he throws it. Like 24, little Joey's got to be thinking, oh, I got this. He just plays the ball poorly. It's like an audacious throw. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And that's how you kind of usually, I would imagine, piss a lot of coaches off and make people scared and not trust you, and how you end up going run, 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 never in history later. These balls are living on the edge. Next one here. This was kind of a bananas play where we end up getting this check down thrown to Henry. I'm not sure how exactly he even got to Henry. Maybe he just kind of by default knows where he is all the time, which I've definitely done and been around programs that have a, world-class back. To me, it looks like Henry is almost setting up for a screen, the way he kind of fakes and turns around like that. No one else really looks like they're blocking screen, though, if that makes sense. Like there's no lineman going downfield, right? We've got a couple guys maybe walling people off. Maybe the center tries to wall off a little bit, but I'm not sure exactly. Maybe it's supposed to be a screen. They just never got out. And if it's supposed to be a screen, it's not as impressive of a play for me. But it looks like the wide receivers are running double post over. So again, I don't know. If I had to guess, I would say it's supposed to be a screen, which is how Derrick Henry plays it. But it's still pretty impressive from Levis here to be able to make this play. Hell of a tip from Henry as well. And then it turns into a big chunk. So, without guessing and trying to know if it's a screen or not, just watch Levis. Set up. Again, I talk about his strength, but there's a dude into his chest right there, hitting him. And he throws a pretty good ball. Touch. Now, it helps that Henry tips it up to himself and makes it look even crazier. That ball's right on him. And it turns into a big play. Good for you, Will Levis. Okay, next one here. Now, at this point, I was watching the game on the broadcast, and I remember the broadcast, the color guys going bananas about how much they loved Will Levis' ability to redirect the line here. And it's not on the all-22, but he does a really nice job of communicating at the line of scrimmage. But this might be an unpopular take, but he definitely walks up here and kind of tells the offensive line. You can see him pointing you're going left, you're going whatever, whoever they identify as who they're sliding to. And the broadcast team loved it, went bananas over it. And part of me agrees. That's great communication, really cool. The other part of me says, what are you doing, dog? Why aren't we sliding to the right? Now, maybe they don't give him the toolkit to be able to do everything. We're not in their meetings. We don't know for sure. But why are we redirecting this way when the only guy that's blitzing is right here? Why would we want the free runner in the B gap to throw a quick out? Why wouldn't you want to redirect it into the pressure? I know a great course that goes into significant detail about this. You don't want to direct the protection away from the pressure. You want it to go into the pressure so that you're blocked up. Why would we redirect away to get a free hot runner in the B gap, all to throw a quick out? Again, maybe these guys are operating on fourth dimensional football that I'm not aware of, but it's not intuitive to me. So he redirects, we get a free runner. Yeah, it's an impressive ass throw. Foot in the ground, can't get through the throw, free runner, guy jumping right in your face. But why? For who, for what? You redirect it to the left, redirect it to the right, block it up and throw it down the field. So it's one of those things where what? Say what? We redirect to the left? Why are we redirect? Why is the line sliding to the left? And again, maybe it's just over my head, and I can acknowledge the fact that I don't pretend to have all the answers. I can't acknowledge the fact that that's a hell of a throw, but it's a quick out for a 4-yard gain. Next one here, big play action shot. We're going to run post up top, over to the bottom. Great pass protection here. Will Levis showing the touch, dropping it outside the numbers. I thought for a hot second here he was going to take a shot down the field of that post, and that's kind of why he was holding up on it, and he was really going to show off the cannon. He ends up showing off some beautiful touch. I'll talk about how maybe I would just polish this up a little bit. And again, we're not in their wide receiver room, so I can't tell you for sure what their landmarks are. But if this is post over, Okay, and the ball ends up being thrown way out here outside the numbers because it takes forever. Normally, if you catch a middle field closed or post safety, that post is pretty much dead. Now, if the guy cheats or tries to like invert replace this thing, so where he's going to cut the over and now this backside corner is going to go run, play the middle of the field, maybe you can get the post up. The thing I would prefer here, and again, every offense is different. Okay, so don't make it seem like this is universal like gravity in football. It's not. But I think the easy way to think about these over landmarks, because these landmarks are not recess, is if you're on the numbers. So pretend like the ball's on the 10. I know it's not on the 10. Pretend it's on the 10. And you're starting on the numbers. Your split is on the 10. The landmark for you would be the 30 on the numbers. And it's not a straight line there. That's not how you run over there. You'd run over, you step up, you stem them, and get over to that 30. But anything less than 20 for me, so if it's more 15-ish, which this looks like it is, it brings in the play more of that second level of the defense. So stretching it to 20 takes a little bit longer, but it's a really clean landmark. And I think it's a great landmark for lower levels of football too. So numbers to numbers, 20 yards away on these overs. And if it was just a little bit more of a stretch, I feel like this ball could get up earlier. And the reason you want it earlier is so you don't catch it and go out of bounds. So again, look where he starts. What, we're on the 8. He's going to run that thing and catch that thing at what? The 25? 26? He's almost at 20, but he's not 20 on the numbers. He crosses the numbers at what, 15, 17? So if he was up on closer to the 28 there, and again, you might be, dude, that's just a couple steps. It fucking matters. The hole there, if you look, is at the 30, right? So just a little bit more vertical on those overs creates a little bit better space, and you catch it and stay in bounds. That's the thing about the details. It's not good enough sometimes to just get a completion and fall, or get a completion and go out of bounds. We want chunks. We want big plays down the field. Next one here, 4th and 4, down 4. Okay, after 3 runs, a trick 'em dick 'em, reverse or around, run, and then we're going to throw a go up top on 4th down. A never in history go. Hope the guy's all right, injury-wise as well. But man, that is just, this was a brutal, this really was, in my opinion, the 4-play series that lost this game for them, because it just an absolute crusher play calling-wise. And then to make it a go route as your 4th and 4 option, I'm all about being aggressive. You probably don't know another more aggressive football person than me unless you know Kevin Kelly. But even he. This, to me, maybe you work down here to the bottom number 2 on the out. Probably if you had the clicker and had to do it over again. But to even just say, hey, yeah, let this thing go down the field on a go ball on 4th and 4. After those 3 runs, man, this one hurt. It still hurts my head. I can feel it throb just watching this. I just don't love that idea, and I'm as aggressive as anybody going down the field. You hope the guy's all right there through the collision. I mean, that ball, even if it's caught, it's nowhere near in bounds. Just a brutal series of plays right there. Next one here, 1st and 10, ball's on the 15. 104 seconds left. We're down 4. Got to go score a touchdown to win this thing. We're going to throw what looks like is a hole shot up top. It's never there. This is a total guess that it's going to be there, predetermining where you go, and it really should be intercepted. Okay, you know what I'm going to say. If he could catch, he would be playing offense. The truth hurts defensive people, but that's the truth. This ball should be intercepted. Now, Hopkins does a nice job playing DB there, but this ball never should be thrown. There is never an opportunity where you're on 1st down where you're like, I'm going to throw this whole shot no matter what, even when the guy is running with him, right with him, and the half-field player is over the top. And it's especially sickening when you go and look at where the ball probably should go if you're working that side, and it's open. So it's just one of those things where the film, in my opinion, says that he is trying to force feed 10 the ball. I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily, except when it leads to throws like this. You can say we're trying to get 10 the ball, and if it's there at all, I'm throwing it, but it's not there. There's nothing about that whole shot that says it's good. The safety's outside the numbers. He's way over the top. The corner's running with him. The throw is underthrown. I mean, it's one of those things where it's so bad that you're lucky you get another shot. Just don't need to do that on 1st and 10. All you need to do here is get a completion, get going towards their end zone. Instead, we're saying, I'm throwing this, I'm hooking him up 10, we're feeding him. Fortunate right there. Next one here, 1st and 10, 98 seconds left, ball on the 28. We take a tough sack with 1 timeout left, got to burn our last timeout. Just can't happen. There's a time clock element here. This ball needs to come out. The worst thing you can do, besides throwing a pick or turn it over, is take a sack like this with only 1 timeout left. You really don't give yourself a chance after this moment. And so, to me, it looks like, again, he's trying to force feed it down the field right here to what I'm going to call this like circus or 7. It looks like it's paired with what I'm going to call dagger down here to the bottom. I don't really have a problem based on the coverage of you saying, hey, let's see if we can get this. But this dagger almost universally will be there. The only time it wouldn't be there is if the second level of the defense just got so much depth that then this check down would be a nice hit. So it's kind of like, okay, even if you look to the left, you know this into the bottom is going to be there. Very few times will this in not be there on dagger. So again, you can see it. It's not going to be an easy throw, but it's open down here to the bottom. We can't take a sack when we've got dagger like that. So again, to me, this is just poor quarterback play, poor decision, and it really kind of kills the game. This is like the low-key end of the game because you don't have another timeout. You're now behind the sticks. Next one here, right on cue, we are going to hit the dagger up top. Really nice job. This time hitting it versus Tampa 2. Really nice route up top as well, widening. Sometimes versus Cloud or Tampa, those in routes will get pushed in and kind of close their own window. But this is a nice job from Levis here, looking down the middle of the field, thinks about it, is able to get it to that deep in. So a little detail that I'm talking about route-wise here is that when you run this in route versus a Cloud corner, so this guy probably going to try to get hands on and push you. You get into it. If you get pushed down, you got to reestablish your width and stem to be able to keep that hole open. If you don't reestablish your width, you end up closing your own hole here, right? So you get in there, but the window for you, if you reestablish it, is a hell of a lot wider than if you just run in tight. So you want to create that big window for the quarterback, reestablish your space and landmarks. So watch that route up top. Pushed inside, goes inside, then reestablishes. So see him go. He gets to the top of the numbers right there. He's at the top of the 40. Then he gets back to the bottom of the 50. That's outstanding. That's a really nice job on that in route. Creates all sorts of space, nice trust. Now that's a big chunk. That's exactly what we needed. This is what I'm talking about. Let's go. Drive the ball down the field. You got that dagger. You trust it's going to be there this time versus Tampa. Big chunk. Let's go. Next one here. 1st and 10. Ball's on the 23. 20 seconds left. Okay, 1st and 10 though. We've got time. We don't have to take a crazy shot here. To me, this is 3 double cloud. And they try to throw the clear or the post on dagger. 85 right up the seam. This is going to be a tough throw. This is just, in my opinion, Will Levis not understanding what he's seen. Because this really should be the end of the game. So I'll let it play one more time. That free safety should pick this off. If he could catch, he'd be playing wide receiver. But this is never going to be there. So first off, coverage-wise, what the hell am I talking about? 3 double cloud. Don't hear that very often. So to me, and without knowing their personnel, I'm assuming these are the corners. So they're clouded up. Then we're going to get third. That's 3 double cloud. And they're still, I think they rush 4. So we've still got 2 underneath kind of hook curl players. This concept right here, what is normally a clear or a post right there, it's never going to be there versus this look, versus a middle field safety, post safety like that. Trying to get that dagger in behind it from tight, it's going to be tough. It's going to be real tough. So right here, this is forced. This is lucky. This is interceptable, turnover worthy, whatever the category is, quantify it, don't do it again, learn from it, and really fortunate to have another shot. Because that definitely and probably should have been the end of the game. He's looking right at it too. It's just it's one of those ones where, this to me isn't even guessing. This is just like panic throwing, like I'm going to chuck it. And I want to be gentle when I tread lightly around this, but it feels like sometimes he does this where he just chuck. Oh shit. Last one here, 3rd and 5, interception. You're going to have to throw it in the end zone. either this play or the next play. He tries to throw the seam down here to the bottom, whether it's never going to be there. I think, decision-wise, who's on the field, personnel, if you're watching this video, you probably know the Titans personnel better than I do. I'd probably try to get it to 10. But I think that there's an argument to go to a bunch of different spots here. To me, this is just all go. Okay, so first let's just talk through the play. So again, that pre-snap look sure looks like 3 double cloud again, right? 3 double cloud is going to be tough. The first part here is that I think what I would prefer to see, as opposed to, if it's a 2-minute situation and we're signaling these things, we don't have a chance. But if it's an incompletion and we can huddle, I would prefer to see some sort of movement, either short motion, or some sort of stack formation. And again, if you watch my videos, you hear me say this all the time, but like, if you were just going to let these guys get jacked out here on the outside, you're not doing them any service, any favors by your offensive system and structure. So that's the first part. The next part is that if it is what I'm going to call 3 double cloud, so third, there really is no good answer. You just want the opportunity for the best one-on-one, if we're being honest. So seam, best release, go. So really the only thing I would say here, if you're just a math guy, this has the potential for 3 players on it, right? If he gets depth. The one on the outside, depending on what the corner does down here, if he runs with it, if it's like man and he runs or matches with this thing, this has the potential for 2-on-1. So it's just like mini Marys, if we're being honest. You're going to have better math on the high back 5 corner shot than you are to the inside where you're going to incorporate that second level defender. So, I don't think there are any good options. You can just see there's 3 defenders there, right? If you maxed out to the bottom down here to the back corner, there would only be 2. That's all I'm saying. And again, when you're in the league and you do 2-minute all every week and you get these opportunities, you're going to play this play a bunch. You can pump in and out. There's no good options though. Someone's going to have to make a miracle play. They just don't right here. I think for the vast majority of this game, especially the start of it, I really liked how Will Levis was playing. It got a little bit guessy, a little bit dangerous at the end, and it ends like that. So that is a wrap. Will Levis, the Titans, had a chance there at the end, really did. Made some really nice throws. I think he is fun to watch from within the pocket. Certainly has significant arm talent, big, strong guy making all sorts of kind of difficult throws. I think when you turn on the film and you try to pull apart and analyze and examine exactly what's going on, you have to put the qualifiers in there. Rookie, second start, on the road, all of those things. There are some really impressive throws. There are also a number of throws that I'm going to classify or describe as what I consider guesses or predetermining where the ball is going to go. And it's just hard to live in that world. You'll have some big plays, and we saw that with his first start, but then you'll have some just absolute head scratchers and really kind of like eye-opening, like, hey, we don't want to do that. We can't live in that world. That's very easily could have ended a lot earlier in this game than it did just because of a bunch of dropped interceptions. So it's all about finding that balance. You hope it comes with more experience. We'll see. Thank you so much for hanging to the end. I will see you next time. Have a good one.